I mean, one of the issues is, the president was represented by, he had his team of lawyers. It was pretty small group. They weren't backed by big law, right? So they didn't enjoy a robust, hundreds of, lawyers back at the office to be able to digest some of these things. And so, President Trump's lawyers, were required to be in New York part of the week, and then they had to come to D.C., and then they had to go to Florida. And so the question is, did you ever coordinate with the District Attorney of New York to, maybe not be at trial one day so you could have the president and his lawyers here in D.C.?
I don't recall that.
Okay. And was any of that a distraction?
It wasn't a distraction from us because, as you said, that case had nothing to do with our case.
Okay. There were a number of times that I believe Jay Bratt took the position that the president ought to go get some more lawyers. Like if Todd Blanche and John Lauro, if they can't handle all these cases, they should just go find different attorneys for President Trump. Were you aware of that statement by Mr. Bratt?
What context was that?
Before the court in D.C. and Florida. Actually, Mr. Bratt was in Florida.
Yeah, I don't think Mr. Bratt appeared in court in D.C.
In Florida, I'm sorry.
If you could direct me to specifically what he said, as I sit here now, I don't recall that, but I'm not denying that happened.
Maybe we'll revisit that, but we can point you to.
Sure.
But you would certainly agree that the president gets to pick who his lawyers are, and if he wants to have Todd Blanche and John Lauro and not others, that's something that the government ought to be able to work with, correct?
Sure, although, I not this case, but other cases, I've seen judges say that if you're going to pick lawyers because they're unavailable, that you can't do that. And if
that wasn't the case here.
Well, if you're picking lawyers because they that will allow you to sort of delay the case, that's not something that judges usually put up with.
But President Trump, nobody from big law would represent him. Isn't that a pretty well-established case?
I don't know that.
And like Mr. Blanche had to leave his firm to take on the representation?
I know he chose to leave his firm. I don't know the circumstances behind that.
Okay. Maybe it comes as a surprise to you, but there are really two different Washingtons when it comes to lawyers, and big law downtown just does not have a great appetite for hiring former Trump alumni, lawyers that worked in the Trump administration with Republicans generally. Are you aware of that?
I have not worked in big law. I've been a public servant my whole career. Right. That's the world I know.
Right. Okay. By contrast, the lawyers on the January 6th committee, they leave the Hill one day and they're immediately gobbled up by big law very quickly. That just doesn't happen with Republicans. Would you agree? That
Republicans don't get jobs as lawyers? I'm sorry.
At big law firms.
I don't actually know that that's true. Again, this isn't a world I have worked in, but I think there are Republicans at big law firms.
Okay. Republicans that represented Donald Trump zealously?
I haven't kept track of that, but you'd said Republicans at law firms. So.
Okay.